Jocasta, destroyed. Real name, Jocasta. Occupation, constructed to be a robot consort for Ultron, occasional adventurer. Identity, inapplicable. Legal status, none. Other aliases, none. Place of creation, an abandoned aerospace research center in Nassau, Long Island, which had been owned by Stark International. Place of destruction, Ultron's secret underground headquarters located beneath the Statue of Liberty. Group affiliation, guest of the Avengers. First appearance, Avengers number 162. Final appearance, Marvel 2-in-1 number 93. History. Jocasta was originally created by the malevolent robot Ultron. See, Ultron, who built her with the capacity for self-awareness, creative intelligence, and human-like emotions. Desiring a mate, he designed Jocasta to be a robot surrogate for Janet Van Dyne Pym, the Wasp, who was married at that time to Ultron's own creator, Dr. Henry Pym, then known as Yellowjacket. Managing to temporarily gain control of Dr. Pym's mind, Ultron forced him to develop a process which could transfer his wife's own life force into the metal body of Jocasta. However, the process proved to be far too successful. Along with Janet Pym's life force, Jocasta was also infused with her personality, her consciousness, and her emotions. In a desperate attempt to save Janet's life, Jocasta gave up her own chance for existence by using her cybernetic powers to summon the Avengers. They quickly put an end to Ultron's plan and soon reversed the transference process. Denied Janet Pym's life force, Jocasta remained a lifeless metal husk for a time. However, unknown to all but Ultron, a residue of the Wasp's living essence remained within Jocasta. Months later, he was able to use that residue to successfully activate her by remote control. The first meeting between Ultron and Jocasta was not a happy one. Though she loved him intensely, Jocasta immediately realized that Ultron was totally dedicated to evil and that it would be impossible for her to join him in his unceasing war against humanity. She then helped the Avengers to defeat him. Having nowhere else to go, Jocasta sought shelter in the public parks and deserted buildings of the city. After months of this transient life, she began to note slight aberrations in cybernetic senses. These later proved to be the first manifestations of a series of pre-programmed commands which had been planted into her subconscious by Ultron. Against her will, Jocasta was forced to obey these commands and recreate her own creator. Ultron had last been defeated when his body fell into a vat of high-temperature, unhardened adamantium particulate resin. Acting on Ultron's instructions, Jocasta constructed a new adamantium body for him. She then transferred his consciousness from the mound of adamantium slag in which it had been encased into the new body by using a special transference mechanism which Ultron had secretly placed within her armament. Joining with the robotic Machine Man, Jocasta again tried to challenge Ultron. In a desperate attempt to destroy him forever, she deliberately activated one of his own nuclear-powered weapons and forced it to reach critical mass, even though she realized that she would also be caught in the resultant blast. The explosion ripped her metal body apart and fused all of her internal circuitry. Her system immediately ceased functioning. However, her sacrifice was in vain. Ultron's adamantium body easily weathered the blast, and he was not incapacitated until later when Machine Man reached down his throat and tore out some vital internal circuitry. The Avengers held a memorial service for Jocasta weeks later. Height, 5 feet 9 inches. Weight, 750 pounds. Optical imaging sensors, red. Hair, inapplicable. Powers. Jocasta possessed several superhuman capacities due to her robotic nature. Her outer skin was made of titanium steel, making her impervious to all projectiles up to light anti-tank armor-piercing shells, to temperatures up to the melting point of steel, and to pressures up to 10 Earth atmospheres. As a non-living machine, she did not need to eat, breathe, or sleep. The mechanisms that mimicked human musculature were superior to organic tissue, providing her with superhuman strength. She could press approximately 5 tons for an indefinite period of time. Jocasta could mimic many human functions, including locomotor and axial movement, speech, and independent thought. She possessed optical and aural sensors surpassing the sight and hearing capacity of the average human being. She also had a special cybernetic sensory system, enabling her to perceive minute electromagnetic particles and identify their source. The extent of this capacity is not known. Jocasta was able to project beams of some as yet unidentified electromagnetic energy from her optical sensors. The specifications of this ability are also not known. Designed by Ultron, Jocasta probably shares many of her builder's specifications.